What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank, and the topic of this video will be about it's a message for the people living in certain countries in Africa. I'm gonna say most countries in Africa that have a significant diaspora in America or the UK. Okay, specifically for people who have family members living in the UK, France, and America. Mainly America and UK, but France, I'm just throwing that in there. So it's something, and me growing up with Nigerians and other African country peoples, there was a trend that I saw that they talked about in confidence with me about the struggles that they go through being African in America. Okay. And one thing that they ran into was this new reality of perpetual monthly bills on a massive scale. Okay. It's something that I realize is not so much issue in, Nigeria. It's not the same over there, being poor over there, being poor over here, this is two different things. You know what I'm saying? Definitely two different things. Because over there, I'm just specifically talking about Nigeria. And we're not talking about the extreme cases, places with poverty and stuff, because what a lot of people don't know is we have those exact same extreme cases here in America, but we don't like to talk about it because we're America, the greatest place in the world. So we got to keep up appearances, but trust and believe. Massive homelessness. We have places in America that's completely dilapidated. We have wastelands. We have no man lands. We have places that got villages that that far out where you can't even. There's people that's been out there that people haven't seen in years, 10, 15 years. Like, people don't leave these areas. We have isolated areas, equivalent to Siberia. Okay, so don't let people think that America's this super great place. It is great. We have a lot of great advantages over a lot of other places, but just trust and believe, America's a massive country, and most of the stuff that you see is in the major cities. That's on the coast. Okay, the center of America is just is completely and utterly just not what you think. Okay, you can look it up. But a problem that I noticed that particularly Africans have that they're doing over here is the people in Africa think that their successful doctor's son, engineer's son, professor, their son, their daughters, think that they're rich, think that they make a lot of money and that they can do whatever they want, that they live that American dream that they see on TV, right? So, and they have expectations that their children that they send over there, their family members that they send over there, are living that way, because that's why they sacrifice so hard in Nigeria or any other country they're in to send their children off to the best schools. I mean, they literally sacrifice their livelihoods, their money, and everything, send them off. So they hope, within hopes that their children would live that dream that they saw on TV, that they were told. So that puts a lot of pressure on the diaspora when they go to these countries. They put a lot of pressure on them to perform to, the highest levels, to make the most amount of money, to have the best house, to have the best cars, to have the best clothes, because they have to show their parents and the family members back there that they're succeeding, that their hard work meant something to them. And they have to do it. They come over here for that American dream, that when they get here, they find out it's not so easy. Okay. And that money that they're sending home to you, this is the message, because they don't want to tell you, because they have to keep up appearances, because they're in America, right? They even give up their citizenships to get clearances to be an American citizen, so they can live this dream. Okay. Because they're in all the highest echelons of government, of the private sector. I mean, Africans are everywhere. You may not see them. They are everywhere, and they are prominent. They are there. But here's the problem. America is a consumer society. America runs on people buying things. Okay. And America runs on reoccurring debt, because we're a debt society. It's meant to put us in debt. Okay. We have social security numbers, which are numbers attached to our lives, and that number gets valued. Private companies put a value on you as a human being based off how much debt you have collected and if you can pay that debt back on time or not on time. Private companies decide whether you're worthy to lend to. Okay? So when Africans come over here and they come to that system of government, they're shocked. Because now they have to work hard. They can't just hold down one job. They have to go get two. Because the families back home are expecting something in return. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take care of your family. That's communal living. See, they're not used to rugged individualism. Like over here where everybody's for themselves. The rich, for themselves. The rich see themselves as equal, as far as humans is on the same level as us, but they're just better than us. Okay? So they want all the rights as an individual. So because of that, everybody, if you fail, it's on you. If you succeed, it's all on you, and nobody should touch your stuff or hate on you, whatever. You lift yourself with your bootstraps. Right? And the thing is, that's an illusion. Okay? It's an illusion. But it's too late when you get here. You're in the system now. So now you buy a house. You buy a house and now you're paying, for that house, that same material that you could have went to Nigeria and built 2 or 3 houses. High quality house. That same money that you spent on a house in America. That you could have went and built several compounds, several high-end compounds. You're paying that, for a house here in America. But they have to have the house because eventually the family members are going to want to visit. They want to see this for themselves. So they get the nice house. They go get the nice car because when they pick them up from the airport, they better be riding something nice for all the hard work their parents and their family members put in for them so they can go to school, so they can come over here and better themselves. So they have no choice. So they have to get 2 jobs. They're working 16 hours a day. They're killing themselves. They do all the overtime available. They take all promotions. They'll deal with all stress. They'll do what they have to do because they have responsibilities to not just 1 or 2 people, but you got a village behind you. You got a bigger family behind you that's looking at you. You're taking care of them now because now you're sending money. They're sending money home every month, and then your family, a lot of family members on the continent, you don't understand what it took for them to make that money. You don't understand the sacrifice that they're making. You don't understand how hard they're actually working. You don't understand how little sleep they get. You don't understand how many days they don't get off. How they can't just relax and chill. They don't. They barely sleep because they have to keep up appearance. They buy houses. They get in the real estate. They do everything that you tell them to do. And then sometimes, and these are the shared experience of every single African I've ever met. They all have this in common. Now, of course, I know there's a lot of Africans on the continent that appreciate and understand, the hard work that your diaspora who's out in in the world, especially in America, or what they're doing. But that's just now becoming a recent thing. Because now you can see it. Social media, you have it there, it's available. You can, people can communicate easier. Now you have a first and second generations of African diaspora who comes back to the continent, and they have the knowledge because they have experiences now here in America. So they come back and they tell you, and some, so I know that a lot of you, most of the majority of you, appreciate everything that your children do. And if they owe you, you took care of them. But what they want you to know is it's hard. It's hard. It costs just these people have mortgages $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, USD a month This is a month. They pay this a month. This is just their rent or their mortgage. And that's still on the medium end. It goes higher than that, depending on what they had to do to impress you, to make sure that you're happy with their accomplishments. That they don't, bring honor to the, bring shame into the family. They got to bring honor, right? We talking about royalty here in some cases. We talking about chieftains. We're talking about stuff like that, and that's real. So they have a reputation. They got to maintain it, but it's hard for them, and they're struggling, and they're killing themselves to build businesses for you. They're killing themselves to build your houses. They're killing themselves to do this. It's not easy. It's not easy, and sometimes you family members, you take advantage. You take advantage, and you spend their money unwisely. You don't spend it on what it's supposed to be spent on. You steal their money. I heard one story where a brother sent money home to his brother because he's supposed to be building him a house on a compound, and he finally went to go see it. His brother had built a house for somebody else. Can you believe that? His brother built the house for somebody else and sold it and got the money. It was a whole nother family living in the house. It was their house. They owned it now. Brother was devastated. Can you believe that? You send money home to have your house built. Your own brother builds the house, sends you pictures. You feel it's being done, but then you go there and you find out that it's not even on the land that you thought you purchased. It's somewhere else in another state, and somebody else lives in it. But him and his construction boy buddies built it for him and got paid again. So what did he do with your money? Oh, he kept that. You get it? He did that. So things like that's going on. You send money home for a car, to buy a car. They get there, there's no car. Because the family member, they got all that money, saw that money. They say, oh, he's so rich. She's so rich. She won't even know this money's missing. That's nothing to them. They got it, right? They make this money all the time. When are we going to get a blessing like this? When do we ever see this much money? They lose their mind and they spend it on other things. They get drunk with the money. And then when their family member come home to see what they did, the money is gone. So this creates a level of distrust. It creates a level of animosity that slowly starts to build, because they love their family members. They love their family members. They want them family members to thrive and be healthy and to benefit from them being there. But to be taken advantage of like that crushes them. And they can't really, most of the time, they can't complain about it because you're talking about elders. They got too much respect. And it holds them back from saying anything. So they deal with it. They deal with it, and some people die. Some people die. They have heart attacks, strokes. They get in car crashes and die because they don't get enough sleep because they've been working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. But they're sending money home. So, this is just a message from a friend. Okay, who hear these stories and just want to tell the people on the continent to please appreciate and understand sometimes he can't do it. Sometimes she can't do it. Or please have more appreciation for the money that they do send and do the best with it. Do the best with it. Appreciate it. Do the best with it because they're working hard for it to bring that money. It's hard. All right? Because you're talking about, like I said, mortgage, $3,000, maybe $2,000. If they go on the low end, they may be in the $100,000, $200,000, range. I mean, $1,000, $2,000 range of mortgage. But that's just that. You got the car note. That's $700 at least. But if we talking about a new Mercedes-Benz or Audi, with them Audis and them Rovers, they're spending $45,000 on these vehicles. It's $35,000 on these vehicles. Some of them got $1,000 on top of that. That's the car note. So you're paying $2,000-$3,000 in the rent on mortgage. They're paying $1,000, $8,000 on a car note, and that doesn't even include the insurance. Insurance itself on a vehicle like that, you're talking $200, $300, $400, $500. Full coverage. You gotta have all the bells and whistles with those cars, because every part's expensive, right? So just add that up. How much? This is monthly, and that doesn't include tax. That's the part the government takes. They tax everything here. Tax every sales tax, house tax. They tax the money that They tax the money that we get paid. So they tax the money we get paid, and when we spend that money, we get taxed when we buy things. And then at the end of the year, we have to pay taxes on the money we already paid taxes for. And sometimes we have to pay the government back. They say we made too much money. We got to give them more money. On top of everything, because these properties that you buy, they add that into the tax. They do some sort of word jujitsu, math jujitsu, and try to convince us that we owe them money for buying property. You know? And we're supposed to be taxed 2, 3, 4 times. So like I said, it's hard. You know, and them clothes are expensive. You know, when I was in Nigeria, I had like a whole wardrobe made for like $200. High quality, great fabric. I'm talking about full sets, custom cut. I pick out the material, boom, they make it. Like a whole wardrobe. We're talking about 15 outfits. I got that done for like $250 US. That's one suit. That's one good suit in America. After you get it tailored and fixed. Okay? Their wardrobe by itself, they got to buy new clothes. They got to be fresh for work. They got to impress people because they're climbing to the top. That's what they do. So you talking about they can't buy the cheap shirts. They buying the expensive shirts. The name brand ones, the ones that you showed them on TV. The ones that you thought had value. You know, the Eddie Bauers and the Gucci and all. They got to have that because they believe that has value. That those clothes made by Europeans have more value than the clothes that are made in your villages. Even though the clothes that's made in your villages are better quality, higher cut than those clothes. So they're paying ridiculous. They paying $200, $300, $400, $500 for suits. That's on the cheap end. The high end, you're talking about $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for suits. Okay, it's expensive over here. It's expensive. Yes, we have a lot of amenities. It's the art. You know, our buildings and stuff are modernized and all that. You know, because it's America. It had an advantage. It's called 400 years of free labor. Okay, from us, from your people. We still your people too. I'm just a messenger. Understand that. We could be cousins. You never know. All right, So I just want you guys on the continent. I'm gonna wrap this up. I just want you guys on the continent to just give your brothers and sisters a break over here sometimes, or just call them up and just be like, I really appreciate everything you've done for me. I understand how hard it is over there. I appreciate that. That'll help. And when they do send you money, just do what you're supposed to do with it. Don't play, because the money will drop. They will stop. They will stop sending you money, and that's over. So would you rather do good and keep it going, or would you rather, get greedy for a few nights and then it's all over? So that's all I wanted to say about that. So that's my message. I'm giving it to you. Don't kill the messenger, y'all, because these are all collective stories from East Africans, West Africans, South Africans, North Africans. Every African I ever talked to had this problem on some level, whether it be minor or major. All right? And I'm sure this actually goes for other people in other countries like the Caribbean and Latin America and in Asia. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But I'm just telling you what I know from the people I know. I'm just a friend and I'm the messenger. All right? So that's all I got to say for now, guys. Learn something, teach something. This is Afro Think Tank. I'm out.